Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. And before I get into tonight's content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Also, I want to give a shout out to my first subscriber, Law and Order. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So let's get to it. So, Rolando Romero will likely get pulled from his December 5th bout against Gervonta Davis. So tonight's post is less about the innocent and or guilt of Rolando Romero, nor is it about victim blaming. This is more about the decisions making of men, specifically athletes. You know, my former mentor once taught me, never be alone with a woman that you cannot trust. And we see this time and time again. And you sort of wonder when these young men will catch a clue. Now, this isn't to say that Rolando did anything wrong, nor is it an attempt to exonerate him. But more specifically, this is about his name in connection with sexual assault. You know, it's very interesting to me to see so many athletes that are connected to things like this, when in the past you've had several other athletes that have been accused of the same thing. And you almost wonder, is it the lack of control, intelligence of these athletes? And so what I'm getting at is you have to be careful about the company you keep. You have to be careful about the women you meet, or even a group of men that you hang out with. Not everyone has your best interest at heart. And again, this is not to say that this woman is lying. We don't know the particulars yet of this allegation. However, again, I point back to the fact that his name is in connection with sexual assault. With that in mind, men have got to get to the point where they make better decisions. And that's regardless of who they hang out with, who they choose to date. But men, especially athletes, have to be very careful about who they entertain. Because oftentimes what happens is when you find yourself in the presence of those who are not trustworthy, you tend to have these type of stories. There are several stories, and we go throughout history, how men have been accused of sexual assault and come to find out the young lady lied about what specifically happened. Again, this isn't to drag the victim, the alleged victim, But again, I still point back to this is more about the decisions that men make. And I understand when two adults are along with each other and they're two consenting adults, I understand what happens. But for men in positions of notoriety, such as athletes, it's important for them to begin protecting themselves. And what I mean by that is there needs to be something drawn up, something like a consensual contract. Maybe it says something to the effect of all acts that we are about to engage in intimately are consensual. And this contract also serves as a non-disclosure contract, as well as the audio and video to this encounter, which will only be viewed by myself and my attorney on retainer. Something like that, so these young men can protect themselves. Because it's becoming too dangerous for men of stature to expose themselves to too many risks. And inevitably what happens is it affects their future, whether it be in the boxing ring and potential purse that can be gained from the actual fight, or endorsements. Going forward, I really would like to see these young men be smarter and make better decisions on a daily basis, so that we don't have to hear of another athlete being accused by a woman of sexual assault. It's always disheartening to hear this, given the fact of past athletes that have been accused. You would think that these young men would look at those who have gone through this fire and not repeat the same mistakes by placing themselves in a position where such an allegation can be lodged against a person. And again, this isn't to say that Rolando Romero is innocent or guilty, nor is this victim blaming. But like I said, going forward, I really would like to see these young men make better decisions with their lives. That's all I have for right now. Until next time, have a good evening.